Yo, what's up, guys? How we went today? We'll be talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder beating the Pacers in Game 7, albeit with a potentially, hopefully not, torn Achilles with Tyrese Halliburton. And they have their first NBA championship in franchise history. Now, tonight, the Thunder won the game all in all 103-91. For the second half, they were down by a singular point. They had no Halliburton. Nembhard just hit a three, and I'm like, this can get interesting. Now, first 3 minutes, I feel like Halliburton had 3 threes. Everything was moving. He was talking shit. He was doing his thing. And then he goes down on a non-contact injury. He starts banging the floor like these. You can see like tear maybe streaming down his face. I'm like, no. Instant flashbacks to 2019. The Kevin Durant torn Achilles after he was playing through maybe as similar as Halliburton, a calf strain. He knew the severity of the injury, played it through it last game, played really well, played through it today, cooking early on, and then non-contact injury. They replayed it a million times. I try to look away every single time, so I still didn't see it pop, or I didn't really see the severity of it overall, but a lot of people are talking about it that it's supposed to be a torn Achilles, and you also see as well his father, John Halliburton, told one of the ESPN reporters that it was also an Achilles injury. So it's just like, it's brutal. Halliburton had a phenomenal playoff run, from people calling him a top 10 player, from him being a superstar, to his haters saying he's Robert Horry with playmaking abilities, which is just so outlandish to even fathom, to even also say as well. It's just absurd. But Thunder, first ever ring in franchise history, 68-14. Now, I will say, I don't think the Thunder were an all-time team or one of the greatest teams ever assembled. I'm sorry, Net Rating FC. This is a damn good, really good team, absolutely. But you saw how they had some warts, At points, they weren't the most efficient. At points, they couldn't hit a three to save their life. And to be an all-time team, you gotta be all-time great. This wasn't an all-time great team. Was this a really, really, really damn good team? Absolutely. Now, OKC, Denver had you on the brinks. You prevailed, you did. Game 1, losing against the Pacers in the finals, on the brinks, you lost. Game 4, on the brink, season on the line, about to go down 3-1. SGA hammer. Game 6, you lose. On the road, though, give you some grace. Game 7. Now, not take anything away from them, but this is a really good team. Shout out to them. But this isn't, in my opinion, an all-time team. Let's finally talk about the game. Now, SGA had a playmaking masterclass. He emptied a clip. I'm not here to talk about efficiency with SGA. He needed to take as many shots as he took tonight. Season on the line. Game 7. Legacies on the line. Shavonte Gilgeous-Alexander showed up. He had like 11 turnovers to 1 assist. He was in his bag. Chet was phenomenal defensively. Jalen Williams, he got into his bag. Lou Dort hit some big threes. Casey Wallace hit a big corner three. Caruso hit some threes early on. It was phenomenal defensively. Now, you could say he was hounded. You could say he gets a little bit of whistle. Him and Lou Dort and Casey Wallace is being hounding really good defenders overall. But at the end of the day, is that my fight as the unbiased fan? Absolutely not. So shout out to the Thunder. Wow. Finals champions. I mean, I could have called this months ago. They were the best team all season. It's just the youth thing. They're the youngest team to ever win an NBA Finals. They have SGA having an all-time season. He ended up winning NBA MVP, Finals MVP, first team All-NBA, and won Conference Finals MVP as well. You have Jalen Williams, your number 2 option, which was up and down. He didn't have the most efficient season. He didn't have the most efficient playoffs, but that 40-point game explosion was insane, especially in tonight's game as well. He had some big shots going down to the rim. But Jalen Williams was what? He was All-NBA third team. He was on an All-Defensive team. He was an All-Star, and now he's an NBA champion. A guy that got scrutinized a lot. Even for me, I called him Teletubby Man. I called him number 8. I slandered Jalen Williams when he was not playing well. And I gave him his credit when he did play well, because that's just the unbiased fan that I am. Shout out to Jalen Williams. But overall in this game, it was just a defensive masterclass. It was just a preserving the ball masterclass. It was emptying the clip. It was hitting some threes. It was really the defense overall. It wasn't a beautiful offensive game by either team, or either team, depending on how you want to pronounce it. But the defense, man, OKC, they were phenomenal. Now, you could say some of those were fouls. At the end of the day, is that my fight? Absolutely not. That was a really, really good game for the Thunder, though. Yeah, like I said, Shea emptied a clip. Chet was really good defensively. Hit a three as well for the first time in forever. Like Miles Turner as well. He did three. I'm like, damn. By the way, Miles Turner, I'll get into you as well, but don't expect 1,000% to be back in Indiana, brother. But yeah, it's like this. Okay, the all-time team part, I'll give them maybe all-time defensive team, but even that is kind of murky. But still, like net rating FC, I'm trying to give y'all something here. But yeah, this is really still a really good team. Shout out to them. SGA, you know, scrutinized, one of the most scrutinized players in basketball. Colin Foul Merchant, Jalen Williams scrutinized, Chet Holmgren constantly scrutinized. I mean, he did not perform well offensively this series for the most part, but today in Game 7, he had 5 blocks, which he officially has an NBA Finals record of 5 blocks in a Finals Game 7, passing Kevin Garnett and Marvin Webster. So clap it up for Chet Holmgren. Now, let's talk about the Pacers now. Wow. Also, going to mention that Caruso is now a 2-time champion. Mark Daniels is the champion. Sam Prentice is the champion. You know that trade for Paul George? Yeah. That's officially now one of the worst trades in the history of the league, which it already was. But, yeah. And also remember in 2022 when Shea said he wanted to stay in OKC. Knows what he signed up for. Signed an extension. 3 years later, champion, MVP, Finals MVP. Congratulations to Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Now, to the Pacers, you know, Halliburton turned Achilles going down. Actually, a little bit bored out of Siakam today. Nembhard had his moments. Makano was really good, especially in that third quarter. Nesmith hit a couple shots, but it just wasn't enough, you know. It just comes to a point, and next season, let's say Halliburton tears his Achilles. Who's coming out of the East next year? The Knicks? I mean, they have their warts, you know. You have the Cavs. I mean, I don't think I'll ever be as high on the Cavs in the coming into playoffs like I was this season. I was so high in the Cavs. They were like my top 3 contender to win the whole thing, and they get bounced out in the second round after demolishing my Miami Heat to the Pacers in 5 games. Halliburton game winner. That was just insane. Just an all-time run from the Pacers. I actually feel really bad for them. The way Halliburton was talking, he's like, bitch ass nigga, after he hit a shot. I'm like, yeah, he's in his Duffy. And then to see that all just come crashing down, I mean, it's just very, very unfortunate, you know. It's something that you just wouldn't even wish on like your worst enemy. Like I even saw like Knicks fans and they were hate watching the Pacers, but they even felt bad after that. I mean, it's a torn Achilles. We've seen Dame and Tatum. Like, who the hell is coming out of the East next season, man? It's just brutal. Absolutely brutal. But shout out to the Thunder, NBA champions. Pacers on an all-time run. I mean, what can you say now about the Thunder? You know, they didn't play as dominant as I thought they would, but they're still NBA champions. Who really gives a fuck at the end of the day? You understand? Like, they're NBA champions, you know? You can get on them, all this and that. They're NBA champions at the end of the day. So, they got what they were supposed to do. I could have told you months ago. I had Boston and OKC months ago in for the NBA Finals. Now, that's officially a thing. Not the Boston part, because they lost to the Knicks. Tatum is about to lose the game and torn Achilles, this, that, and there. Yeah. But still, yeah, you feel what I'm saying? Yeah, overall in the series, I have a couple things I've written down, you know, for the Thunder. Actually, before I get into that, the Pacers. Miles Turner, he played abysmal, brother. I don't know if you'll see you back with the Pacers. You know, they're about to go give you $30 million. I feel like he was non-existent for a good amount of the postseason, so I don't know what they're going to do with Miles Turner, unfortunately for him. But Like what you saw to Neesmith, Nembhard, he had his moments. Siakam, obviously. Now what happens with the Halliburton injury? I mean, it's just so brutal. It just really, really is. It's absolutely brutal. But yeah, man, what a back and forth series, man. The game 1 choke, the game 4 closeout by the Thunder to do that. Game 6 back against the wall. The Pacers come through. And then game 7, it was right there. This is phenomenal. This is one of the best finals in the last decade. I started watching basketball like early 2010s as a Heat fan. I've been really locked in since like 2021, like my basically in the middle of my freshman and sophomore year of college, where I really had free time, was able to watch the games and know how to tap in to watch every single game, really be locked into the sport. This is phenomenal. I mean, down to the wire games. You didn't have much blowouts, cinema. The home crowds were on fire. It was objectively a really good series. Not too much to complain about. A lot of people are complaining about the fouls and OKC playing hounded defense and not getting called for fouls. At the end of the day, not my fight at the end of the day. So, Thunder, NBA champions. Miles Turner, what the hell is going to happen with him? Love what you saw at TJ McConnell. Matthew had a good jolt at the end of tonight's game. It's just like, what's going to happen? You know, Jarris Walker first. Traded a couple firsts for Siakam. It's just like, what's next for Indiana? And for OKC, what's not next for them? They can make another massive trade. They have a multitude of first-round picks. They have tradable assets. They have tradable contracts that they just recently paid. I'm looking at you, Aaron Wiggs. I'm looking at you. Got it didn't play today. Isaiah Joe. Maybe even you as well. Usman. Maybe even you as well. Nikola Topic. Like, maybe you as well. Isaiah Harden. Like, they could really trade, like, anybody except, obviously, Shea, Chet, and J-Dub. And I honestly would not be surprised. Caruso really feels like an OKC lifer. Like, they love and adore Alex, Bald Man, Caruso. Outside of that, I mean, they probably do love Cason Wallace as well. They just have, like, it's just an abundance of lovable players that OKC fans love on that Thunder team. Even Jalen Williams didn't really see him in the finals, but shout out to bro, Arkansas legend, Charge legend, yes sir. Thunder fans, congratulations. Pacers fans, what a run. Who saw y'all coming in? This is literally, like, this isn't disrespect, but this is one of the most improbable finals runs I've seen in a while. I mean, nobody thought y'all would be here. Let's be completely frank here. They were what? The 6th seed, I believe, right? Pacers were the 6th seed, correct? Pacers were the Pacers were the 4th seed. Again, it was 4-5 Boston, 4-5 Milwaukee. So yeah, my bad. Some neck right there, but yeah, came into their own. Shit. A lot of people predicted the Bucks would win in the first round. Second round, I had the Cavs. Third round, the Knicks. Who did I have? Honestly, forgot. But I wasn't incredibly high in the Pacers all season, to be quite frank. They do have depth. We did see Rick Carlisle a ton, but it also comes with the fact that, I don't know, there's only so much you can do, you know. A lot of turnovers today. They didn't really have that one, like, magnet ball 3-point game either, but what a insane run. This is, let's say, a lot of comparisons to my Miami Heat run in 2023. This clears it. This is objectively really good. But like the Miami Heat, we were a mid team just overachieving and overperforming. The Pacers are objectively a really damn good team. They have a head of the snake in Tyrese Halliburton. They have Pascal Siakam, who's already won an NBA Finals. They have really good role players. The Nembhards, the Neesmith, you saw McConnell, you saw Matthew, you saw points over top, and it was abysmal today. But yeah, also another thing they gotta do is the center position. It's just not it, man. Miles Turner can't rebound. Wasn't able to hit his threes. You don't have a back. You have to rely on Tony Bradley and Thomas Bryant after Wiseman and Ajax Turner Achilles. And then you see Hallie tears Achilles, and you're like, what the hell's going on with torn Achilles in Indiana? But yeah, all in all, Thunder, NBA champions, Pacers, what a run. What a run. Let's see if I didn't miss anything. But yeah, game 1, obviously we had an insane Halliburton game winner. Never hit a huge 3 where he comboed up on the left wing, just over SGA. Bang. Thunder bounce back in game 2. OKC loses game 3. Take game 4. Take game 5. Lose 6. Win 7. First finals since 2016 to go to 7. And at that point, I was 13 years old in high school. Wild. Absolutely wild. Maybe middle school. 13? Middle school, maybe right before high school. I don't know. Now off the top of my head, it's 11:31 right now. My brain is fried. But also want to give a shout out to Halliburton's improved defense in the playoffs. Another thing I had written down. But yeah, great run. Both teams. Thunder, they did it. They did it. Congrats to them. And yeah. Other than that, y'all, that is the video. Go down below, drop a like, comment down below, sub up, make sure to follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok. It's your boy John. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video, and I'm out, man. Peace.